waking up to the voice of Grab Smogan in the morning time, Grenada. 25 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock. Good morning to you wherever you are. Those of you that's on radio, those of you that's joining me via, radio that's on Classic 105.5 and 105.9. Or you're probably joining me via television, via GBN's television or GBN radio, GBS television, channel 720 and channel 11. Okay, wonderful good morning. I hope you've slept well and you're up and about. And you're ready to go out and conquer the world. A world that is there for your asking. A world that is begging for somebody to stand up and take charge. I'm Joseph Cadore, and indeed it's a pleasure being here with you, as we do every morning, keeping each other company. I'm here to keep you company until 10 in the morning. And really packed day. It's Friday. It's budget day, in case you're wondering. You're up and about, and you're wondering what's the plan for today. It is a budget day. We start each day, Grenada, with a word of the day. A word of the day. And your word of the day today, it's an adjective. And today I share with you jovial. The word of the day, jovial. And jovial is spelled Jovial. The jovial. And jovial means marked with good humor and describes people and things that are cheerful or full of life. Yeah? So you probably... And remember, so let's a sentence. Andy remembered his Uncle Jim as a jovial man with a ready smile and a firm handshake and a cheery greeting to all. The word jovial, yes? So if you're not jovial, you're probably either cranky, you're sour, you're like a little puss. No, but you're not a puss in the morning time. Today, the word for today is jovial. And it is an adjective and it is spelled Jovial. Jovial. That's the word of the day. But what are some of the other words that you could probably use to replace jovial, just to advance your vocabulary? It's gleeful, jocular, joking, jolly, laughing, merry, sunny. The word for the day. Jovial, as you add a little bit of laughter today to your life and to your vocabulary. The thought of the day, as you keep your eyes on the clock, every day we're trying to help each other. And today I share with you that the happiest people I know are evaluating and improving themselves. The happiest people I know, they are evaluating first and improving themselves. The unhappy people are usually evaluating and judging others. So the evaluation process is not the problem. It's what do you do? For the happy people, they evaluate and they improve themselves. For the unhappy ones, you know what they do? They evaluate and they start judging. Who do you think you are? I know you when you were a little girl. Okay, you know me when I was a little girl. I knew you when you were a little boy. Boy, I knew what you did 5 years ago. Okay, so keep holding on to those things. How do you transform yourself and become a happier person today? One of the thoughts for the day. Sharing another thought of the day with you. And I want to encourage you today, the 26th day of November. Don't worry about failure. You do not worry about failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you do not even try. Because that's what the real failure in life is, you know. Failure is not when you attempt something and you're not successful. Failure is when you choose to stand still and do nothing. So do not worry about failure. Worry about the chances that you miss when you don't even try. Because you never know. You know, people may not believe in you, but sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and believe in yourself. Yes? Believe in yourself. Your health tip for the day. Did you know that strong mints has the ability to clear up congestion of the nose, the throat, the bronchi, and the lungs, which gives relief to respiratory disorders that often results from asthma and a common cold? A little bit of mint. If you have some mint around the house, just take some leaves, rub it up, rustle them in your hand, mince them together, and allow the aroma. It clears up congestion, of the nose, the throat, the lungs, and gives relief to respiratory disorders. Maybe you should try it today. Maybe you should try it in combination with whatever other medications that you have. You may just get some much needed relief that you need in the morning time. Yes? Why not? You have nothing to lose. For some strange reason, I did not get receive the COVID dashboard. I didn't see it anywhere. And the regular trusted locations like the Ministry of Health's website or on GIS, neither was it sent to me. Maybe I'm losing, my sources are not as attentive as they used to be. But I can say to you, though, that the vaccination process, not just for vaccination, but just for testing. Today, Friday, you can go at the Kirani James Stadium, that's through Gate B, or all the health centers across the island, or you can visit Dr. Francis Martin's office on Grenada Street. He's available they're available there from Monday to Friday, today being Friday, from 8 until 2. And if you're interested in going tomorrow, then that is going to happen from 9 until 12. Yes, just keep that in mind as you go through your day. Also, you can visit the health centers across the nation, but reminding you that you must walk with your ID, and you are encouraged, if you're visiting the health centers, that you must make an appointment. COVID-19 protocols in full effect, so give them a call the health centers. What are the numbers? I'll go through it quickly. The health center in St. George, 440-3371. In Grand Bras, it is 442-7623. In St. David, it is 444-6249. Sates, 442. So St. David is actually 444-6249. Sates is 442-9317. In Grove, it is 444-8414. And Hillsborough, Carriacou, 443-7280. That's the numbers. And in case you're wondering what your options are in terms of your vaccine uptake, well, there's a Johnson & Johnson, there's Pfizer, and there is AstraZeneca, just to keep yourself in the know. And remind you, Grenada, as you go through the day, COVID-19 protocols, yes, they're in full effect. Remember the wearing of the mask. It's of critical importance. You don't want to be caught unattended. Without it, you see, like me, I've always got my mask. Yep, it is with me, always with me. Even when I'm sitting in the studio, my mask is with me. So make sure that you do that. Keep your mask with you. Social distancing protocols, all of those sort of things. Keep them in effect. Keep them with you. We watching the clock for those of you that's heading in for 7 o'clock. It is about 18 minutes onto the hour. So I would expect reasonably you've left and you're on your way to the JOB. For those of you that's probably just lying around still wondering, what am I going to do today? I'd probably suggest you rise, give rise from your slumber. Encourage yourself. Talk to your spirit. Say, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's a great day. It's a great day to be alive. So then we just have to talk to yourself and say, what? Joseph, wake up. I've been in my slumber for too long. Or maybe you say, Sherry, wake up. Just talk to yourself. Encourage yourself. Just talk to yourself in the morning time and say, you know what? I know I've been in this burdened state for too long. I can't stay here any longer. What's happening with me? Talk to yourself. Wake up, arouse your spirit, and do what you have to do on a Friday morning. The morning edition comes up next right here in Classic. For those of you that's in television, we gave you a repeat of the top stories from last evening. Yes, my plan for the day, I'll rejoin you on the other side of the clock at around 15 minutes past the hour of 7, when I'll be speaking with Dr. Amanda Roberts on dental care. Dental care, yes. Well, thank you, Timon. Timon, was that today's COVID dashboard you threw up there? Because I didn't see one for today. I'm assuming maybe that was an old one. But let's hope that the numbers, we continue to keep the numbers where they were. For the week, there was a little the cluster over the weekend, but since that's in Carriacou, but since then the numbers have been continue to be relatively low. Classic in the morning time. The morning edition comes up next right here on Classic 105.5 and 105.9 on the FM band.
I have some information. It's important. I want everyone join us in support of the census. So come here, let's count the population to give the right amount. We need you on board. The entire public, your support, we really need it. AI, starting from the 15th of September, help us count every number. Yeah, to improve the life of the people. We need information, calling out to the nation. We don't want to leave anyone out. So for we can the statistics, you got to partake in it. Cause the nation depend on you, on you, on you. Grenada depend on you, on you, on you. Caribou depend on you. Hey, Bitty Matlick too. We need all of you. Yeah.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Top story tonight. It is not the elimination of landlines as reported in the rumor mills around the country. However, some changes are being made as it relates to the technology surrounding the use of these landlines, which is now facing resistance from some customers. Gerard Joseph has the details.
The copper lines are what will be eliminated as Flow Grenada upgrades to HFC fiber technology to power the landlines around the country. Jelani Glean, Communications and Marketing Executive, tells GBN that increasing and improving user experience is the target goal in mind.
To really utilize the fixed line technology on the HFC network, it also needs to use your modem. Right, so the fixed line, rather than being plugged into the wall on the plug on the wall, as has been traditionally done on the ADSL network, you would find that now it is being plugged directly into the modem. So your landline technology would now come through the modem. The service is going to come through the modem. It's going to be an enhanced service, but it's no longer going to require the use of plugging into the wall.
The transition has already begun, and Glean says copper line farming or removal has happened for customers who do not have internet broadband services but maintain the use of a landline.
You don't require internet access to have the service. What you do require is the modem. All right. So even if you don't have the internet access, the modem is going to be provided for you and you make your connection through the modem. Now, because you don't have the internet access, we're not going to charge you for the modem rental on the modem. Right. However, if you decide later on that you're going to upgrade to include broadband technology in the home, then you're going to start paying the rental fee for the modem.
The Communications and Marketing Executive admits that a power outage can make the landlines inaccessible.
The service is always available. If there is a power outage in your vicinity, the service will go out simply because not it's not available, but simply because the modem that requires the electrical supply is not receiving it. So if you have solar technology or you have external charger or a generator, you'll find that your service is there and works just as well.
Glean notes that the shutdown of the copper network will conclude within the coming months. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Meanwhile, as Flow Grenada makes copper line technology obsolete, the company is ensuring that shut-ins or elderly citizens living by themselves can contact the dispatch services in the case of emergencies, such as short periods of electricity outages. Here's Gerard Joseph once again.
Communications and Marketing Executive at Flow Grenada, Jelani Glean, says they are working towards providing options for the elderly or shut-ins as they finalize the upgrade to the 4G network. An external power supply is one of the initiatives the company is investing in to back up the modem, which are in the testing phase before being made available.
And the priority is going to be given in the first instance to persons, like you have mentioned, the elderly and persons living by themselves and so forth. And then we're going to make it available to a wider customer base. So that's one way. But even that supply is only viable for about 4 hours of battery life. All right. So you're really literally going to have 4 hours and then it's going to go.
Glean notes that this option is most beneficial in short periods of emergencies, as during a natural disaster, the company is mandated by law to shut down. The Flow Grenada executive also reiterates that a mobile phone is preferable during times of disasters or emergencies.
And I know we've been spoiled in the past. During Ivan, we had a really good experience with, even though the lines were down, battered in many cases, that, there was still some service on the copper line because copper does have that level of resilience and we recognize that. However, the copper line service doesn't compare in terms of quality to the HFC. And what the HFC network allows us to do, especially on the broadband side, is that the speeds and so on that we have now, we don't have that available at all on the copper with this. It's not possible. So we can't have it both ways.
He says it is also not financially prudent to maintain two networks.
And I know some persons are, reserved in terms of, the elderly. They don't like the new technology. They don't like, going through all of that. And that's because, sometimes we make it difficult for them as well. They don't have the time to go through and learn the new technology. But I know if, there are smart keys on your phone, so you can say, Mom, Dad, hey, if you press 1 and you hold it down, it's going to dial me. If you press 2 and you hold it down, it's going to dial the police. 3, the doctor.
Glean says the benefits of the upgrade are faster download speeds and more bandwidth, as the company caters to the increased use of online learning and video interactions.
We're happy to do that, and we will continue to work with our customers to provide them with the best service. And we do understand that not everything is going to be in our favor sometimes. It's not going to be in the favor of the customer at times. We do not want to lose any customer. We value our customers dearly. They are our number one priority here in this company. So, we don't want to lose any customers. We will work our best with them to keep them. But we do understand that if, what we have to offer right now is really not what they're looking for, we will be understanding that they will move on from us.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Minister of Finance Gregory Bowen was recognized on Wednesday by the National Telecommunication Regulatory Commission for his contribution to the entity. Chrislina John has the story.
Finance Minister Gregory Bowen was described as an advisor and wise counsel during the recognition and tribute ceremony by the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission. Infrastructure Minister Nolan Cox vowed his commitment to take up the mantle from where Minister Bowen left off. He described him as one of those persons who you can turn to when finding a solution seems distant.
For me, I am truly privileged to be given the opportunity not to fill issues. I wouldn't be able to do that. But that opportunity to benefit from what you have started and to continue with the team that we have here. You have always given some advice, wise counsel in every aspect, and everybody can attest to that. The deep analysis that you have as one of your skill sets, I think we all look towards you for guidance when we have those sensitive issues, those difficult problems.
What Minister Cox notes as significant is the contributions the organization continues to make across the Grenadian landscape. The man of the hour, Minister Bowen, expressed his gratitude while reflecting on some of the challenges experienced while getting to this point.
So I commend you, Minister Cox, and I know that you will do a very good job at the helm of this organization. Can't help but mention as we move into the PUC and the liberalization, the battle. And someone will say, well, who is making this? They did not understand what we went through with Cape Rights. At the point in time, the government, the UK intervened. But I would dare say they were a much more respectable group to deal with, as opposed to the massive pressure. I appreciate the gesture. Yes, for myself and for my organization, but put it on record so that someone could come later and find out what really took place and the people who participated in it.
The National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission was established pursuant to the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority Treaty and the Telecommunications Act 31 of 2000 to regulate the liberalized telecommunications market in Grenada in collaboration with the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority. Christelina John, GBN News.
The renewable energy programs of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission have the potential to incrementally reduce the cost of electricity for users as well as consumers on Grenlec's grid. This as the Self-Generator Program and Small-Scale Independent Power Producers Program slowly roll out after being launched earlier this year. Here's Gerard Joseph with the information.
Reducing our dependency on fossil fuels toward the generation of electricity can be of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, which have the capability of reducing Grenadians' electricity bills, which have been an issue of major contention recently. Regulatory accountant Jenna Jacob elaborates that this can be possible when the Small-Scale Independent Power Producers Program comes on stream, distributing renewable energy to the grid.
And the more renewable energy that is taken on, it would be distributed for every customer in terms of the customer would get a share of the lower pricing of the renewable charge on their bill every month.
Regulatory engineer Davre Bola, however, notes that there are some hurdles that have arisen with getting the small IPP program off the ground despite sustainable interest shown.
What we would have seen, however, is that to a certain level, for that program, there has been a certain level of resistance, which would have caused things to be a little delayed. In simple terms, there are some individuals who just want to do what they want.
Pola says due to the scope of engineering and guidelines in being granted a license for the small IPPs, its implementation is expected in the first or second quarter of 2022.
Unfortunately, you don't follow procedures, no license. So that's in some way a bit of an impasse. But I would not, I would still go as far to consider that program successful to this point, even though there have been no license given so far, because of the aspect that there are quite a few in the pipeline that are very close.
Meanwhile, the self-generator program for residential homes and commercial buildings has been much easier to implement, says the regulatory engineer, noting its affordability. Bola says of the 1 megawatt accumulated capacity for the self-generator program, 334 kilowatts have already been taken, which is inclusive of individuals who are in the process of getting their permits. The regulatory accountant says several financial institutions have been engaged in offering loans towards the renewable energy programs.
In terms of benefits, we have benefits to the initial self-generator, which is for them to reduce their fuel energy consumption by using the generated energy. Also, there is a passive income that they can use by selling their extra generation to the grid.
Finance Minister Gregory Bowen is expected to address the issue of high electricity bills in the budget on Friday.
That was Gerard Joseph reporting. Not quite often one gets to see locally made handcrafts like these. With the evolution of technology, people have drifted aside to a much easier way of getting things done. Christelina John shares the story of one man who continues the tradition with his craft despite this reality.
On one of GBN's country runs earlier this week, we came upon this 70-years-plus gentleman named Randolph Pear, better known as Puri of Conference St. Andrew. For the past 16 years of his life, Puri, all by himself, has been carving wood into juking or washing boards, hammering away on metal to make bread and cake tins, and pounding nails into tin to create graters. His motto, work hard for what you want in life.
Board, I make broom, I make baking pan, I make grater, I bunk holes, walk about and sell. Go granans, I go careless, I go sorters, I go guava. Do all that I walking. You see, like this mine I was doing some wood, and I'll take, when I finish, I don't finish yet, but I take a ease up, and I take 2 pan. And I take the pan and the grater and I walk down the road.
Puri, as he likes to be called, says he is all about getting things done, hardly resting. He says if not doing his craft, he burns coals, another rare occurrence these days. The financial constraints experienced by people has affected sale, but he says this has not daunted him. The price of raw material has also gone up, and so Puri says he was forced to add a little on his pricing as well.
Well, right now, like the people hold back. They hold back because with Christmas coming, they want the thing, but sometimes they feel, well, they want something else. They want something else. Right. So they kind of hold back. So things kind of slow. Span, I sell this at $20. Sometimes, you know, people, sometimes the person don't have the $20. I say, okay, give me $15. When things go up now, I can sell it for $15. When things go up there now, light bill, phone bill, water bill.
Mr. Pierce says he is thankful for the monthly assistance provided by government. However, what he does for his livelihood aids in his sustenance.
Washing board selling has a long time. But they must willing to pay. When I tell them, you see, you can say, well, you have to pay $60 and to say, well, the amount of money that you spend to buy the board, you have to buy, you pay the money that you spend for the board, and then you have to come back and labor to make it.
This type of craft making appears to be dying a slow death, Pierce says. Although some young people have expressed interest in carrying on the trade, no one has come forward to learn these valuable lessons and skills from this creative gentleman.
If to say you have to ask somebody for something, but to say like you're asking a man, you tell a man, give me $2 now, give me $2. I don't like that. Do something to get it. Do something. Do something. No, not beg.
Christelina John, GBN News.
The Grenada Tourism Authority has conceptualized a competition called Young Chef, Young Mixologist, which is open to any aspiring young chef and mixologist under the age of 26. The competition aims to identify young talent in the culinary field and cultivate it. Rena Perry-Thomas has more in this report.
Young Chef, Young Mixologist is a new competition organized by the Grenada Tourism Authority for aspiring young chefs and mixologists under the age of 26. Persons are not required to have any educational background in the field, but should have an interest and love in the field that they are practicing. The competition intends to develop young Grenadian talent in the culinary field and expose them to opportunities and experiences that they may not have otherwise. Project leader for the competition, Samantha Thomas, says interested persons are required to send a video submission to sthomas@puregrenada.com.
The competition is open to young people under the age of 26. They are required to send us a video submission of themselves, basically introducing themselves saying why they love the culinary space, what is their motivation and aspirations for themselves as a culinary professional. They are also required to tell us what is their favorite recipe and why they love that recipe, what inspired them. So it could be a story like, my grandmother used to make this way, and that's how I like making it, and I want to share that with other people. So if that's your story, include it, get creative, and send us your video submission.
Thomas said persons entering the competition will not be required to make any monetary contribution. The deadline for all video entries is December 29th. All submitted videos will be reviewed by a panel of judges comprised of professionals in the culinary field.
Right. So the competition will be over a period of 4 days during the first 2 weekends in December. We will start with 10 chefs and 6 mixologists. At the end, we would end up with 3 finalists for the chef part and 1 finalist for the mixologist part. Component of the competition where they would learn to do not only the practical side of the culinary trade, but they will receive media training, they would receive etiquette training to help develop them as a culinary professionals.
The winners will be awarded one West Indies School of Hospitality online learning course of their choice, $1,000 cash prize, and other prizes.
There is a lot of prizes to be won. One of the prizes is being awarded the Young Chef, Young Mixologist Ambassador. So AKA you would be our culinary ambassador. You would also receive an opportunity to travel with the GTA promotions team, which I'm very excited about, to attend, promotional shows, trade shows, whatever the case may be. You'll also receive an internship at a hotel or a restaurant establishment. They will also receive other prizes, which includes attire like chef jackets and knife sets as well.
Persons are encouraged to grab the opportunity to learn and explore their talent through this competition. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
President General of the Grenada Trades Union Council, Andrew Lewis, has joined the many voices expressing condolences to the family and friends of the late Basil Harford. Mr. Harford, a former trade unionist who has made many contributions to the development of workers in Grenada in the 80s and 90s, passed away on November 19th. One of Harford's iconic stories was recorded in May 1985 when he called on the government to ensure that foreign companies abide by local labor laws before letting them set up shop on the island. Harford's statements came in the wake of the closing of the then British-owned Bata Shoe store and indications that laid-off workers would not be paid their liquidation bonuses. Mr. Lewis says trade unionists today are thankful for men like Mr. Harford, who paved the way for what many are fighting for today.
He was president certainly before my direct involvement in the labor movement. But myself and others today stand on the work that he has done. And certainly taking up the mantle in certainly 1985. He was president of the TUC between 1985 and 1987. And those were the days following the invasion of Grenada by the Americans. And those are the days when the labor movement was under a lot of attack. And the fact that he rose to the rank of the president of the TUC at that time is a clear indication of his commitment, his steadfast commitment to workers.
President of the Public Workers Union, Brian Grimes, also expressed condolences to the Harford family.
The Grenada Public Workers Union would like to extend deepest sympathies on the passing of one of our former presidents, Brother Basil Harford. He passed away. He served in our union from 1982 to 1988. He gave stellar service. He is also the husband of distinguished union president, Sister Madonna Harford. So I'm asking workers also to put Sister Madonna in our prayers.
And for this, we remain eternally grateful to Comrade Basil Harford. And we extend once again our deepest heartfelt condolences to Comrade Sister Madonna Harford and the children and grandchildren on the passing of Comrade Basil Harford. His mark will never leave the landscape of the Grenadian working class. His mark and that of the family will always be remembered by the workers of this country.
Life's moving moments don't always work as planned. That emotional hug during the graduation ceremony, sudden sightings of old schoolmates during a shopping trip, things can go a little off track quickly. With 15-way voice and video calls, group chats with up to 1,000 persons, and free messaging, Bib helps you share the happiness and be prepared whenever life hits. Keep the good times going. Share it on Bib. Bib, more than just a messaging app. Download Bib today.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand-name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
Get Rubigas. Get cooking. Rubigas, clean, safe, and reliable LPG is the perfect solution for your commercial and everyday needs. For cooking at home or barbecuing, choose Rubigas LPG cylinders. Available in a variety of sizes from 20 to 100 pound cylinders. Rubigas LPG, clean, safe, reliable. Are you cooking with Rubigas? Get Rubis, get going.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
This is Island Life. Let us inspire you as we showcase our love for design, food, and fashion.
This is a message from the Ministry of Health. If you or a family member suspect that you may have contracted COVID-19 and are displaying symptoms, please immediately self-isolate at home. This means that you must also avoid all contact with other members of your household. Do not visit hospitals or health centers, as this creates the potential for further spread of the virus, and it puts additional persons at risk when you come into contact with them. Your best course of action is to call the COVID-19 hotline at 458-4787 or 538-4787, or contact your nearest health center or medical station. Once your information has been received, health officials will come to you. Help prevent the spread of COVID-19. This has been a message from the Ministry of Health.
This the season, Grenada, and all the action is happening on GBN. It's a mid-morning show like no other, with shopping deals, giveaways, karaoke fun, Christmas recipes, and a whole lot more. This the season for caring, sharing, and reaching out to those in need. This the season. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on GBN Television, Classic Radio, and GBN's Facebook and YouTube pages. Promotion runs from November 8th to December 31st. Stay tuned to this station for more info.
Tis the Season is made possible by Ace Hardware, Kittens Healthcare, Grenada Tourism Authority, The Country Cold Store, Grenada Paper Products, and Sissons Paints.
Greetings, everyone. I hope this message meets you and yours in the best of health as we join in encouraging all to act responsibly.
COVID-19 presents the most serious
and deadly challenge any of us will experience in our lifetimes.
We must act now.
We need to keep the Caribbean safe.
We can all help to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Please stay at home.
So Caribbean people, please stay home.
Caribbean people, please stay at home.
Please stay home. It's that simple. This too shall pass. But for now, stay home.
Stay in your yard. Stay home, stay safe.
You know, one day I woke up and, you know, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. You know, nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they...
Yeah, a little bit of a reggae vibes on the morning time. This one was played just for those that are celebrating their birthdays today, anniversaries, or if you're just high in life, just grateful to be alive. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of jamming in the morning time. Yeah, once you're grooving, it just shows that you are alive and well. And you're being grateful, you know. You wake up, you're feeling, you're good about yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It is 17 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. And I want to say good morning to Dr. Amanda Roberts. This morning we continue, and we started this conversation on Monday, and it's all part of Dental Week. And this morning we continue with the conversation, dental care. Everything that you need to know, we'll be discussing that this morning. Good morning, Lady Roberts. Welcome to the program. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for having me. Good morning, listeners.
I hope that you're normally an early riser.
I would say some days, not every day, maybe just a few days when I go to the gym.
Okay, and especially today's Friday, when we tend to want to be a little bit more relaxed on a Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's all right.
I know that is perfectly okay, because we're going to get into a little conversation that's going to make you all excited. It's right down your alley. Dental care. When we talk about dental care, let's put it in the simplest terms for me. What exactly are we referring to?
Well, firstly, dental care is how we take care of our mouths. It isn't necessarily just our teeth, but it's the foods that we eat, it's the frequency that we brush, it is the amount of water that we drink. Dental health care is the first step to our general health and our overall wellness. So that's basically what it is.
So let us start, if possibly with the foods that we choose to consume. As a professional, what's the advice you would offer in terms of what we consume?
I normally tell my patients and anyone who would listen that we need to eat foods that are high in calcium, So that would include milk, yogurts, cheese, foods that are high in phosphorus and magnesium. So you could get that in meats and green and leafy vegetables. Also, vitamin C. A lot of people aren't aware of this, but vitamin C allows you to have really healthy gums. And these hold your teeth in place and allow you to have a beautiful smile. So eating oranges and cherries and all those other things that have vitamin C, very important in your diet.
Failure to do that, what happens? What potentially can happen?
Well, firstly, if you don't have enough calcium in your diet, as well as these other minerals, you tend to have weaker teeth and you're at a higher risk of tooth decay. So you're more predisposed to have cavities, toothache, and tooth loss even. Also, with the lack of vitamin C, a lot of people end up with gingivitis, periodontitis, and these allow you to end up with loose teeth and tooth loss also. So that contributes a lot to sickness, not a good diet. And even though people might think that it's just your mouth, when you have bad gum disease has a proven link with heart disease. So what you eat can also be saving your heart.
Expand on that for me. Dr. Dubois and I, we touched on it briefly on Monday, but we didn't want to get into the heart of it. So let you and I take that conversation a little bit deeper, because you're trying to think your mouth, your heart. I'm not getting it.
Yeah, so it has been studied that the bacteria that are found in gum disease are the same bacteria that make their way through your veins, through your arteries, and get to your heart. So if you eliminate these bacteria from your mouth, they aren't able to get to your heart to start heart disease. So during dental checkups, if we are aware that we're seeing certain signs of gum disease, we can see that, hey, there are some bacteria that are possibly making their way to your heart. You should go to a physician and check and see if you have any other issues.
But it's interesting, though, Dr. Roberts, because not everyone, the conversation of visiting the doctor is always seen as an expense and not necessarily as an investment. And I'm thinking you're saying that that's a culture that should change, especially when it comes to dental care.
Yes, it definitely should be changed, and it should be normalized. People going in for routine checks, because going to the dentist might seem like an unnecessary expense, but when you're there, the dentist can detect possible arising problems. We can nip it at the bud, and sometimes when you don't have a huge issue, if left unchecked, a small hole can turn into a huge cavity, which could even turn into you having to lose a tooth, and that would have been avoided had you gone to the dentist before. So yes, it is an expense, but luckily we have the general clinic where, Grenadians could go in and get a checkup for free. So I think that should also be spoken about more, so that more people will be aware of their rights and privileges here.
Do you get the sense that phobia that exists to visit the dentist, it's also this lack of knowledge, and you're thinking, once I visit the dentist, the next thing they're going to do is, here, extract. But we've long gone past those days. I mean, haven't we?
Well, yes. It's partially a lack of knowledge, but also trauma. So these traumas have been passed down. Children hear their parents talking about their experiences going to the dentist and how, some teeth were extracted that were totally healthy and teeth that were extracted to reach to the tooth in the back. So when these tales are being told, it passes down the trauma. So what we need to do right now is to develop a new relationship with our patients. We need to establish confidence and, trust between us. So it isn't just a lack of knowledge, but a lack of a good relationship between dentists and patients.
And I can trust me, Doc. We've all heard of a fair share of those stories. But it's interesting, though, the stories you don't hear is the harrowing tales that you should hear of when you get those toothaches in the middle of the night. Those that literally keep you up. Those are the stories that
Yes.
should be told. That makes you become a little bit more fearful. That you know what? I need to take care of them, right?
Yes, more people should know about toothaches, but at the same time, not only the fear, but just the knowledge of knowing prevention is better than cure. So coming in, getting a checkup, getting a cleaning could avoid all these situations. And also, you have to keep in mind that there's a psychological aspect of having a healthy mouth. So you could encourage children to have a beautiful smile, to have good breath, you know, to feel confident and proud of their smiles. So that's another way in which we can tackle it.
We're going to head into that because we certainly we're going to make the connection with COVID, because COVID has been really stressful emotionally and different ways on us. We talked about the foods that you eat. You talked about drinking a lot more water.
Mm-hmm.
And the importance of that.
Yes, so our diet plays a huge role in how our teeth end up being generally. So if you eat good foods and you drink a lot of water, what the water does is it washes away the sugars that remain on your teeth, and the sugars are what the bacteria feed off of, and that causes cavities. So if you drink a lot of water, you're constantly cleaning your mouth somewhat so, and that reduces the risk of you getting tooth decay.
Another reason why you should consume more water, not just worried about being about dehydration, or because you're told you have to drink 8 glasses a day, but you're thinking, you know what? They say 8 glasses. Let me drink an extra 2 for my mom.
Yes, drink an extra 2 for your mouth. I agree with that. Yes.
What are some of the trends that you see on island as it relates to dental health?
Well, I can come from many different angles. Firstly, with children, I don't think that enough children come to the dentist until they are in pain. So they don't have a relationship with the dentist, and their first experience tends to be a traumatizing one because they are already in pain, and the procedures that are necessary aren't the most fun ones. So going to the dentist for the first time and seeing a long needle because you need to be numbed, you know, that tends to instill fear. And then these children don't want to return to the dentist. And that's the first step of the phobia of visiting the dentist. So I think the problem is encouraging and normalizing children coming to the dentist just for a routine check, just to get comfortable with the idea of having a dentist in their mouth, and seeing good oral health care as a positive thing, as something to be proud of, as something to take pride in. You know, so that is the first problem, waiting until we are in pain to visit the dentist. And the second problem, I think, is just brushing our teeth in the night. A lot of people forget to brush their teeth in the night, and you end up having a mouth full of bacteria for hours. Say you sleep for 8 hours. For those 8 hours, your mouth is filled with bacteria, and people have a higher risk of getting cavities. And many people don't floss. You know, they brush their teeth and they forget to floss, and then they come in and say, hey, but I brush my teeth every day. Why do I have cavities between my teeth? But little do they know that brushing only gets rid of 60% of the bacteria in your mouth. And flossing, as well as using mouthwash, helps to finish the job. So the lack of flossing is another contributing factor to decay that many people tend to overlook. So yeah, I would say those are some problems.
As part of developing and getting into the whole idea of improving your overall dental health, there's the flossing, you talk about brushing and all of that. The use of the toothbrush and types of toothbrush that you use, how critical is that?
Well, it depends on the situation. So I normally like to advise patients to use a regular or medium toothbrush, nothing that's too hard, because if you use a toothbrush that's too hard, it tends to wear away at your gums. And many people think that brushing harder means better, but that is not so. It's really the technique in which you brush your teeth. So I try to teach my patients how to brush, what is the correct technique, and encourage them to use a medium toothbrush, you know, nothing too hard, nothing too soft. and sometimes even the electric toothbrush, because they tend to be quite efficient.
You said technique. I'm assuming there's a right and a wrong way to brush brush your teeth.
Yes, so many people brush horizontally, and that tends to wear away at the gum line. So what we encourage is doing circular movements and also brushing down, from the gum down for the upper teeth and from the gum up for the lower teeth. And that way you get rid of some of the plaque and the debris that's beneath the gum line without wearing away and scrubbing at it.
Do you think we pay enough attention to our tongue? How important is that?
Yes. It is incredibly important. Your tongue, it holds a lot of bacteria, and many people, they would just brush their teeth and they would neglect the tongue, and that leaves you with a white film over your tongue and therefore bad breath. A lot of bad breath can be avoided if your tongue is brushed. And not just brush, some people could use a tongue scraper. A tongue scraper gets rid of that film over your tongue, and then after scraping off the bacteria that builds up overnight, then you can brush it and get that minty, fresh smell that everyone loves.
As you did intimate, you would complement that with your favorite mouthwash, or whatever the case might be.
Yes, flossing and mouthwash, yes.
We started a conversation about diet, but there are some things that, for example, coffee, there's some things that naturally can stain our teeth.
Yes.
So what are some of those things that we consume that you would encourage persons? You know what? You may want to be cautious as to the effect it's actually having on your mouth.
So drinking lots of coffee as well as tea, they tend to stain your teeth. They leave little particles at the back of your teeth where people don't tend to see that often, but over time it builds up. It builds up, and some of it ends up on the front of your teeth as well. So coffee, tea, red wine tends to stain, as well as smoking. It's very easy for a dentist to tell when you have a smoker in your chair, because there's a lot of buildup, a lot. So those are a few habits that tend to cause that sort of thing. And I encourage people to do everything in moderation. I wouldn't encourage smoking, but do everything in moderation. And when you do what you do, make sure to drink water to wash away these particles, because they settle there because your mouth is so dry. So if you drink some water, that increases, the chance of washing it away and keeps your mouth cleaner.
Indeed, and I think that just the whole idea of keeping them clean, just some water. We started the conversation about the emotional impact, the emotional of having nice bright smile, and we taken that from the backdrop of COVID-19. COVID-19 has had tremendous mental strain on us, each and every one of us, and certainly we all have our own story to tell. What are some of the challenges? We know even through COVID, there's been some drawbacks, lockdown and all of those sort of things. What should be the culture going forward? We're almost at the end of the year, looking at the new year. Let's start talking forward thinking now. 2022, practices, things we should do looking ahead.
Yeah, so from now on, good oral health care starts at home. So we never know, there could be another wave and we could end up in lockdown again. And what happened in the middle of March 2020 was that those who intended on coming to the dentist, their appointments were canceled or postponed. And those people who had a lot of pain had to live in pain, right? So to avoid this situation, don't allow your teeth to get to the point where it is so decayed that you have migraines and headaches, sleepless nights, and whatnot. So if we visit the dentist regularly and have routine checkups, the dentist could detect these problems early enough before they get to the point of such decay, and the gravity isn't as bad as it tends to be. So routine checkups, brushing your teeth twice a day, especially in the night, is crucial to having good oral health care. Flossing, using mouthwash, as we spoke about earlier, having a good diet, a balanced diet, refraining from snacking. A lot of people during lockdown were snacking, including me, snacking out of boredom, eating the most unhealthy foods, candies, juice, So it's all about what you eat, when you eat it, because if you brush your teeth and you say, oh yeah, let me have a chocolate bar, that defeats the purpose as well. So these are some things that you can do to help yourself forward instead of letting it get to the point where lockdown ruins your life, not being able to sleep, not being able to concentrate. Those are some steps.
You're saying that and I'm smiling because remember as a child growing up, your grandparents, they had some policies, in-house policies. You ate quite early, and as soon as you finish eating, you had to brush your teeth. And once that was done, eating was out of the question for you all night. So you brush your teeth since 8 o'clock. Hello, I don't care if KFC comes at 10, whatever comes after that. You are not participating in any consumption of food beyond that. And it's interesting why they may not have not necessarily had a medical background. They somehow knew a few things, I guess, through experience as to some of the cultures they didn't want you to get into. Doc, let's talk about the use of fluoride, because we've heard some interesting stories about fluoride. What is the best toothpaste that one should use?
Well, I would say that using a toothpaste with fluoride is good for you. Fluoride in minimum amounts, in small amounts, would not do that much damage to your body. Studies have been done, and it is totally healthy. Also, fluoride tends to strengthen your teeth and fight against the risk of cavity and decay. So using a toothpaste that has fluoride in it is a good idea from as young as a child having their teeth. Once you have teeth in your mouth, you can have fluoride. You could have something with fluoride in your diet. Everything is in moderation. That's the true essence of life. Once it's in moderation, you should be okay.
Doc, we spoke about the teenagers, we spoke about the adults, the babies. Is it too young? When do you start with them? When do you introduce them to the whole concept of cleaning, taking care of the teeth? At what age?
At the age of the very first tooth, the very first day that the tooth drops out of your mouth, when it erupts, you start taking care of it. I encourage parents to wipe the baby's teeth. Yes, they might be too young to use a toothbrush. You can use a damp cloth. You could put a little bit of toothpaste on it. It doesn't have to be the ones that burn because they have these ones that are catered for children. You put a little bit of toothpaste on the rag, you wipe the teeth, and that way it wipes away the sugars that are on the teeth from the milk, because babies are drinking milk, they're nursing, and these things have sugar in them as well. And a lot of parents who do not take care of the baby's teeth and neglect the fact that babies too can get cavities end up having children with something called baby bottle syndrome, where their teeth are black and decayed before they even reach 3 years old because they're falling asleep with bottles in their mouths. They're waking up. They're just living with sugar in their mouth all day, every day. So wiping the teeth is very important. And bringing them to the dentist is fine as well.
So you're giving the baby a bottle as a comfort, but not recognizing that you're creating a secondary problem.
Exactly. Comforting the baby with a bottle isn't the best idea. I'm not a mother, so I can't speak about it really, because I could only imagine how hard it must be and how much easier it would be to just, put the bottle in their mouth. But it isn't encouraged. And if you do end up, feeding the baby, make sure to wipe their teeth at least. And whenever they're old enough to start drinking water, give them more water. Don't have them constantly drinking juice and tea back to back. Let them drink some water.
Well, even without being a mother, you're given full advice because they work. Give them milk. You give them milk. Give them water. There's nothing wrong with water at the end of the day. I think overall, Doc, the conversation would lead to where we would agree that prevention is better than cure.
Surely, certainly it is. Yes, it is. Visiting the dentist and taking good care of your teeth saves you a lot of headache. Literally and figuratively, headache with a toothache and just the headache of, having to worry about cavities, it saves you a lot of trouble.
I think if anybody has ever had an experience of a toothache that kept them up at night and having to call the dentist at 4 o'clock in the morning. Good morning, Dr. Fletcher. my dear old friend. Yeah. Well, it was all a little secret for years, but oh boy, we go through some harrowing experiences and we learn the hard way. But while we're at it though, Doc, we've grown into some cultures. We feel a little ache, and we always seem to know what is wrong with it. We always seem to know what's wrong with it. And so we go to our pantry or the medicine cabinet, and we start as though we're experts, pulling things out and applying to our teeth. Let's talk about that habit, about that culture.
Yeah, well, I guess it's over the years of self-medicating and our grandparents teaching us little remedies, because there are a lot of patients who use garlic and clove to deal with toothache, and these things actually work.
Of course they work. I know they work.
For a moment. It's a temporary fix, but it doesn't mean that just because the pain has gone away that the problem is solved. And that's a problem that we encounter quite often. So even though you might take some garlic in the night, if you don't have any painkillers, it does not mean that your problem is solved. And I even realized that there were some patients during lockdown who tried extracting their own teeth. They did, and then they come in saying, I have a toothache, I have a swelling, because they ended up breaking off part of the tooth, the visible part of the tooth, the crown, and they were convinced that they extracted their own teeth, leaving back the roots
self-extraction,
and fostering bacteria in their mouths.
Self-extraction?
Self-extraction.
How cruel could one person be? I can't even think about that.
Yes, I cannot fathom the thought, but somehow some people, maybe the toothache is so bad, they get desperate.
Wow. So there's the use of that, alcohol, rubbing stuff on the gum. You go into the pharmacy and buy these topical oils and all of that. We're saying while they may serve as a temporary stopgap, if you start feeling pain in the mouth, that's a sign. Visit the dentist.
That's a sign. You need to visit the dentist, because doing these little self-care treatments, they're only treating the symptom. They're not treating the cause and the real problem. So it's like putting a Band-Aid over an entire wound. Eventually the Band-Aid's going to fall off and you still have the problem that's there. So eventually you need to come to the dentist, and we all love Google, but we still need to go to the professionals.
I can bet you that the person who owns Google, they go to the dentist.
Right?
The owners of Google, they visit the dentist. Believe me, they visit the dentist. And some of these self-medicating things that individuals will use, Doc, they sometimes can be a little bit harsh on the gum.
Yes. I have realized that using the overuse of clove oil can actually burn away at your gum and cause some numbness and extra sensitivity. So these things, as I said, could be used just for a short period in time, but it's not something that you constantly apply to your teeth, because they too do damage.
And everybody, while clove oil, it works, and we agree that even on the bottle, they would say to you to be mindful as to the amount, because it can be rather the strength of it can be a little bit overwhelming. Doc, we're almost out of time. I'm just going to give you a minute or two just to offer some general tips as we wrap. Let's just summarize our conversation this morning.
Okay, well, listeners, firstly, I just want to thank you for listening in, and hopefully you're taking some tips while you're on the road, while you're getting ready. Just remember, brushing your teeth is crucial for your general health care. Not only your dental oral health care, but your general health care. Be aware of the foods that you eat. Be aware of when you eat them. Don't brush your teeth and go and eat candy right after. Okay? Make sure to brush your teeth twice a day. It is crucial to brush in the night. The nighttime is the very most important time to brush your teeth. So brush at night, floss, eat well, and visit your dentist regularly to make sure that everything is all well and good, so that they can detect and maintain a good oral health care and a beautiful smile in your mouth.
Doc, they're hearing you now and they're saying, okay, Doc, I want to visit you today. Where can I find you?
I work in the Food Fair Complex Grandans, upstairs to Rick's Cafe. So I'm there every day of the week, but I also work part-time in the government clinic. So I work there half day and then I work in the Food Fair Complex on the other half of the day.
Dr. Amanda Roberts, thank you, Doc. All the best to you. Enjoy the rest of the day and keep smiling.
Thank you. You do as well. Thank you for having me.
You take care. All the best. Folks, we need them. We know what they're for. Let's take care of them. 15 minutes on to the hour of 8 o'clock. We take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, Grenada.
Stay hydrated after an emergency or disaster. Store bottled or clean drinking water in tightly covered containers. Store at least 1 week's supply, 1 gallon or more a day per person. Do not drink tap water until you are told it is safe to do so. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council in collaboration with the Ministry of Health with support from the Pan American Health Organization.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
Feel good tax. Remember, if you have flu symptoms, do the right thing and stay at home to avoid giving it to others. Remember, you can be infectious up to a week after developing symptoms, so rest up and take it easy.
Stop the spread of germs that can make you and others sick. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. If you don't have a tissue, use your elbow. Wash hands often, especially after coughing or sneezing into a tissue.
Sneezes spread diseases, so cover coughs and sneezes, please. Not with a rag or bandana. They trap germs.
You're going to be getting ready to rejoin our friends on television. Good morning and welcome to our viewers. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We're running out of time as we're quickly running out of time. And I want to say thanks to Dr. Roberts. I'm trying to figure out somebody doing self-extraction. It's bad enough when the dentists are trying to get the teeth out of your mouth. Wow. Okay. But I think the general the general understanding is that, folks, we need to do what we have to do to take care of our teeth. Reminding you, by the way of, for programming purposes, that tis the season. There will be no tis the season this morning. To this morning, what's happening from 10 would be the presentation of the budget by the finance minister. Yes, $1,352,210,635. And that's the budget this morning. And the understanding is that public debt, so how is it going to be? Well, the understanding is that public debt is scheduled to take up the largest piece of the pie, followed by education, health, pension and gratuities, and the Ministry of Finance, among others. It would be interesting to see where agriculture falls into the lot. But only time will tell. Well, as part of the build-up to the budget presentation at 10 o'clock, to the point this morning, we'll be facilitating an open line this morning, where you get a chance just an hour before to share your thoughts. What are your expectations? You looking forward to, and your anticipations from the budget? Certainly, it would be interesting, and the truth is, a lot of Grenadians do not necessarily pay any attention to it, but it's important when it comes to matters of national and of nation building that we be actively involved in it. So, the presentation will take place this morning by the finance minister. We'll see how. It's normally over 2 hours or so, but we'll see exactly how that goes. As you go through the day, reminding you COVID-19, the protocols, they're in place. I have not seen anything official, but I'm hearing of some increasing numbers from Carriacou. I'm just quite surprised that I haven't actually received anything from my regular sources. I'm not sure why that is, but I hope it has nothing to do with our seeming sense of reservation, us being a little bit being complacent. No, it's not the time for complacency. It's a holiday season is upon us. Today is the 26th, so a month from now is going to be Boxing Day. Yes, boy, the time is going to fly, and January, December is going to come and go. And yesterday, though, on Tis the Season, we were talking about making the right decision, economic decisions for the season, folks. While yes, I mean, I'm one that I'm saying, let us enjoy the holiday season and make the use of it, make the use of friends, family, because you're never really quite sure what's going to happen next. But keep in mind, folks, that there is December. After December comes January, and the challenge is that you get paid already for December, for January, for November, you get that, and in the middle of the month you get paid again. And you seem to think, you just won the lotto. No, that's your December salary that came 2 weeks earlier. So that's the money that you would normally be spending late in December, early in January. If you spend it in the middle of December, what happens come January? So I probably suggest, listen, this year might be a good year to, if you plan a Dutch party with a family. Yeah, everybody let them come together. Keep the numbers small. You can limit the numbers though, but within a good reason. And instead of one person preparing everything that's a burden to them, let's decide. You do this, I do that, and everybody else, you share the burden around. If you have to purchase stuff, you don't necessarily want to prepare everything for the heart of the season. So you have the ham, yes. So maybe what you can do, maybe prepare the ham for the new year, so you can have ham available for the kids to go to school. The sorrel, the ginger beer, why not think about it? You know what? Maybe leave back 2 parcels of sorrel or some ginger, freeze it. Or you decide you're going to boil it, but don't sweeten it. Don't sweeten it. Leave it there so you can probably have it later on in the month, whatever the case might be. Don't just consume everything free-willingly, as they say. Everybody pass. Listen, this year is a good reason. Andre Jerome, stay home. Stay in your place. Yes, stay in your yard. Tell people that. Social distancing protocols in full effect. That should be the perfect reason for you to stay home and don't let anybody. Yeah, you encourage folks if they pass. There's the folks, the band, they do the serenade, and I'm not sure did they do it last year? I think they did, but it was on a scale and a reduced. Yeah, it was scaled back. But they know the guys are going to pass. The guys from Carmencheros, the guys from Angel Harps. You know them. You know what? Leave the bottle down at the bottom of the stairs. Don't let them come up. Don't let them come up anyway. But folks, let's consider it. Let's consider it's been a difficult year, and the year ahead is not going to be any easier. Reminding you, if you're going to do the lights, keep in mind that electricity bill that continues to just go up and up and up and up and up. Yeah. Keep in mind, what's the plan? You want to put on the Christmas lights early, but possibly, maybe you take it off later on in the evening as the night progresses. Until then, folks, JC loves you. Reminding you, the budget comes up at 10 o'clock. To the point, 9 o'clock, it's an open line. We'll take the conversation up until around 10 to the hour, to facilitate and getting the connections up and about with the folks from the GIS via Mount Welldale. And at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock, we join the BBC for a bulletin of news. Until then, Grenada, peace and love. JC loves you. Tomorrow, I'll be back with you from 10 in the morning, though. And that's what we do. Sports Central. Tomorrow, focus will be on cricket. My guest tomorrow morning would be Pastor Stevenson, a warm local commentator, author, and along with Raphael Crony, Raphael, local coach and cricket enthusiast. Once you say cricket, they would be on. And of course, you can't forget Sid the Kid. Sid the Kid is going to be with us, together with the young Etienne from the under-20 squad that just came back from their outing. He'll be stopping in and chit-chatting with us. Until then, folks, so long, everybody. I'm leaving you for now.